Hi there, it's Pamela Ann Noxon, and I am so excited to be with you this evening to give you some of my tips and ideas of how to navigate the holidays in grief. And I'm just getting this onboarded into the Facebook group. So 2 seconds, and I will be all set up. And I just wanted to introduce myself in case you don't know me yet. I am a holistic grief educator and I'm a grief coach. And I am also a holistic health practitioner. And I am a grief movement guide. I have a lot of different modalities that I've studied so that I can bring everything that people need to my work. So I'd like to get started by saying welcome. I'm so glad you're here with me. And I want to mention that there is a handout link in the main discussion feed. I've posted it a couple of times so that you can find it. It's nice to be able to follow along while you're watching. If you're joining me live, I'm grateful that you're here. But if you're watching the replay, you might want to rewatch it a few times and see how your experience changes. So I'm going to start by introducing tonight's topic. I'll be doing 5 weeks in a row of navigating the holidays in grief. And tonight, November 30, is day 1. And our topic tonight is having rights as a griever. And the reason I cover this topic and have you understand some of your rights as a griever is that I want you to be building up boundaries and support from the inside. Sometimes we don't always get all the support that we want from others on the outside. Sometimes we do. And even when we do, it may not be enough. That I want you to really be starting from a place of self-support and of self-love. And one of the ways we do that is by trying to eliminate as much as possible any self-judgment about how you are grieving. Because every single person in grief has a unique experience. Your life, the way you lived before loss, the relationship that you had with your person or persons who have passed on, every factor about this creates a unique thumbprint of a grief experience. So your grief is utterly unique to you. So another thing about grief is that it does vary day to day, hour to hour, moment to moment. So if when you're watching this topic, if you begin to feel overwhelmed, just pause and maybe go for a little walk or take some time away and revisit this as you wish. Please, if you feel overwhelmed, take that time to take a time out and care for yourself. And because this isn't a one-on-one grief coaching session with me, I am introducing more universal content and ideas. And I want to make sure that you're able to stay comfortable and regulated. And if anything activates you too much emotionally, go ahead and stop and create a safe space for yourself. Speaking of, in these topics, I do recommend that you listen to these maybe in a quiet space where you won't be interrupted, because I do a little guided imagery just to kind of set a tone of relaxation and of taking in information more into the heart instead of the head. So I want you to be comfortable and relaxed and just allow this information in, and whatever speaks to you, work with that, and always, always make my content your own. That's very important. Again, since I'm speaking to many people at once, I have to keep it somewhat universal. So I always invite you to personalize any of the exercises or topics by adding in specifics about yourself, your loved one who's lost, maybe people that you're dealing with. So I want to give you just a tiny bit of background about why I do this work. 3 decades ago, I was a holistic health practitioner and holistic counselor, and I was teaching many different modalities of hypnotherapy, guided imagery, emotional release work. And I worked with psychiatrists and psychologists and medical doctors to help their patients get more out of the work they were doing with their practitioners. I am utterly honored to do this work, and I do it in honor of all of the people that I've lost, all of the loved ones I've lost. And so I thank you for allowing me to bring some healing and help into the world in honor of the people that I've lost. So our topic tonight is a griever's rights. And I think I'll just do our little guided imagery first, just to sort of get in a nice relaxed space. So if you just want to relax, take a nice deep breath and just get comfortable, easy peasy, nothing too deep, or we're not doing anything about conflict resolution in this. This is truly from your core, your inside, your soul, your higher self. This is an interconnection exercise for you. In subsequent weeks, in the next 5 weeks, one of our topics will be conflict resolution with particular people and dealing with toxic positivity or spiritual whitewashing or any kind of issues you may have with people in your grief. But today is all about you. So I would say just go ahead and relax. You can just get in a comfortable position. Be very gentle with yourself. Allow whatever comes up. No forcing, no judgment, just ease. And just notice your connection with the chair you're sitting in, or if you're reclining, just the feel of a cushion or whatever you're sitting on under the back of your legs and behind your back. And if your feet are on the floor, notice the connection of what it feels like to have your feet on the floor and how grounded and strong that feels. And you can take a nice deep breath. And as you exhale, just allow your eyes to gently close and just feel a place of stillness and relaxation. And you can place one hand over your heart and your other hand over your lower belly, and just relax as you inhale deeply in through your nose into your lower belly, and feel that hand on your belly as it moves out, as your belly fills with air, and as it contracts as you exhale. Each inhale, really breathing down into your belly for just a nice, deep, relaxed breath. And the hand on your heart just remains gentle and supportive. And on your next inhale, inhale deeply into your belly and blow out through your mouth like you're blowing out candles on a birthday cake. Feeling all of that breathing out, just letting out any thoughts, any judgment, any stress, any tension, just let it out. Allowing you to feel lighter and clearer and more present. You can allow any confusion or disconnection, just anything that you may be holding on to release. And if you get distracted through this, that's okay. Just return your attention back to your breath and to your hand on your heart, feeling your heartbeat, and allow it to anchor you for the rest of our time in this short guided imagery. Just allow space for ease and connection and support. And bring your awareness to your own authentic experience, your story, your loved one's story of their life. Your love and your love for them. All of these create your unique grief experience. You are grieving your way. And I'd like you to allow into your awareness a circle around you, however big you need that circle to be. See in your mind's eye, it can be a golden circle on the ground. It can be a bubble of light. It can be a rainbow. It can be whatever that comes to you is right. Allow with ease and no judgment. And allow this circle to be as big as you need it to be. And know that this circle is a circle of your love and support. And repeat these affirmations. You can say them out loud or just in your head. And say, my grief matters. My grief is an act of love. My grief is my memorial to honor my loved one. My grief has no time limit. My grief is natural and appropriate. My grief is healthy and normal. My feelings are not a stage to be gotten through. My grief is mine. I get to grieve at my own pace and in my own way. How I mourn is unique to me, and my love for my loved one matters. My grief is love. And if there's any other affirmation that comes to you authentically, allow it in and speak it or say it in your mind. And please allow anything that feels right to you, that symbolizes these rights that you have as a griever, allow them in your mind's eye to be in this circle around you and fill the circle with these beautiful symbols of all of these affirmations and anything that comes to you that supports you and allows you to grieve in the way that you need to grieve. And when you're ready, take a few deep breaths. Feel your heartbeat under your hand. And allow your eyes to open as you come back into the room and give yourself a great big hug. Now, I want you to feel these grievers' rights, not just think them or read them in your handout. It's important that you assimilate these into what I call your soul tissue. So there's a reason I asked you to relax and allow them into your mind's eye and to see symbols of them. And you can do this meditation every day, as often as you like, and allow it to support you as you go out into the world and deal with what the world brings to you. This is especially important around the holidays when you have so much more socializing. You're probably seeing family members more, and sometimes you have family members that maybe aren't supportive even without a loss or grief. And maybe it's even more challenging with them in grief. So in your griever's rights, in your handout, I list a lot of these rights that we just said in the guided imagery. But what's really important here is that you make your own grievers' rights, because the more specific you are, the more powerful these are for you. So as you work with these, I want you to add in grievers' rights of, I have the right to add my loved one into my holiday celebrations. I have the right to choose to socialize or not socialize. I have the right to refuse invitations and say, I'm in mourning. Thank you for the invitation. I have the right to celebrate traditions. I have the right to not celebrate traditions this year. I have the right to make up my own traditions and celebrations. So it's important that you not only personalize these by adding your loved one's name, but also by adding affirmations and rights that really resonate for your experience. So what I ask people to do is repeat these grievers' rights aloud as often as you need to. I would add in not only your own, but as you're going throughout your day, you may find new ideas and inspiration. Unfortunately, sometimes that happens when you come up against something that is activating or triggering or painful, and it's going to remind you, hey, I actually have the right to not experience this. And then add that to your affirmations. Always keep them in the positive format so that your subconscious is hearing what you want instead of what you don't want. So if you run into someone that is asking you invasive questions or wants to talk to you about things that you don't want to talk about your loved one who's passed, your affirmation would be, I have the right to avoid conversations that are upsetting. I have the right to say, I am not talking about that right now, as opposed to an affirmation that is, I have the right to not talk to that person. You have the right to say, I'm not speaking about that person right now. One of our subsequent Thursday evenings will actually be how to create back pocket sentences that are phrases and responses that you have at the ready for when you're going out into the world after loss. That'll actually be next Thursday night. So put your grief affirmations in the car, on your phone, maybe hang them from the bathroom mirror, post them everywhere as a daily reminder, and saying them out loud is powerful. Get in that space, put your hand over your heart, do some breathing over your belly, and say, I have the right to grieve this way. I have the right to be angry at other people because they're happy at this time of year. You simply have the right to everything you're experiencing. So these are for you. And one of the things about this, as I said, this is an internal exercise. Today's work is about you supporting you and you aligning with higher versions of yourself and creating support for yourself and some inner strength for yourself. These are not about other people. These are not about, you need to let me have my experience. This is truly about, I have the right to my own experience. Next week, we'll go over addressing communicating with other people, because that's a very different approach than this internal grievers' rights. So what I'd like you to do as homework is write out your grievers' rights. And I've put a few prompts in the handout. My grief timeline is, the thing about the holidays in particular is that there's so much nostalgia and there's so many memories that even if this is your first holiday without a loved one or your 20th, the grief and the loss and the pain and the missing them, the love is right there. You may notice that it almost doesn't feel like it lessens throughout the years. We learn to work to grow bigger around our grief. Our grief doesn't get smaller. We find ways to navigate and create more life and more love around the grief. So one of the things I say is that I don't work in stages with grief. I love Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. She was the pioneer of grief work in our culture 50 years ago. She's the psychologist that came up with the 5 stages of grieving. And I'll do more videos about that. But right now, I'm just going to say that I do not work with when you are or where you are in grief. I work with who you are and how you are in grief, because grief doesn't work in linear stages. It's simply not attached to linear time. And I think you probably know that already. So some of the other grievers' rights you can start out with in a positive intention is, I have the right to, I honor my loved one by, I deserve to, and so on. But again, these are not meant to be lobbed at other people. These aren't defense mechanisms about interactions with others. These are purely you feeding this core of yourself, of support and love and understanding that you have the right to feel whatever you're feeling. This is about removing a filter of any form of self-judgment in your own grief. We'll get to other people's reactions to the way you are or aren't grieving next week. So if you have any questions for me, you can either put them in the comments, you can message me, and you can also jump on a quick connect call with me. I'm always available to have a quick phone call with people. The more I know about each of you, the more I can tailor content to help you specifically. I'm delivering universal content, but of course, as I've just said, every one of you are having a very unique experience and thumbprint of grief. So if there's any questions you have for me, please reach out and message me and let me know how I can help you. I would love to know any of your homework. You can message me questions about it, or even what you end up creating. I love to see that. I will be posting this replay under guides and tagging all of you in the group so that you can rewatch it. And I'll post the handout again. And I'll also post some other upcoming free workshops I have. December 27, I have a longer workshop that is about self-care in grief, the 8 essential aspects of self-care. Self-care is so much more than exercise and eating well. It's about things like this. It's about nurturing and supporting your heart and your subconscious and these deeper aspects of you, to build you up from the inside out. This is creating boundaries from the inside out to honor your rights as a griever. So I will put some other links to connect calls, and I'd love to have if you have any questions about things in particular that are concerning you about the upcoming holidays, let me know. And I just want you to know I'm so grateful you're here and that I see you, and I'm sending you love and support and comfort for your loss. And as always, from my heart to yours, I'm sending you love. Take care. Take care. Take care.